Hello everyone, this is Verda and today we're playing Rollfax. I do think you will be able to hear during today's video in the background a little bit of noise, a little bit of, noise. That's because there is a construction happening nearby and a party as well. I really gotta start. I really gotta start recording this in, I don't know, 3 a.m. That would be a good time to start recording. Anyway, I have to load a backup here because I figured out way too late into the recording that my microphone was muted. So there's that. But thankfully I did a backup from the YouTube save file. So you guys do not have to not watch any progress due to my mistakes. Yay! Anyway, what I was talking about. Oh yeah, you can see now we have passive gold, which is a thing which was introduced. There is for two reasons. One, I don't like the time you have to wait in the early game for stuff literally to spawn and throw themselves at you in order to give you money. Not cool. So I introduced passive gold, and the second one was actually to streamline exploration a little bit. Now instead of this video would be nuts because this is now stronger than it used to. But anyway, what do I mean by streamlining exploration? Well, exploration was spawning creatures and giving you money from the creatures you killed when exploring as well. Okay, so it had a double source of income. And there was a little bit of a problem because both of those numbers were actually based on the distance from the center. The number of creatures, the amount of credits it had to spawn creatures, and the money it gave you. So it made it so that exploring into further regions was actually way better. Cool. Yeah. But there is a problem. Because in the early game, exploring wasn't actually that worth it. You barely paid for the turret you put in order to explore the region. In the late game, however, exploring was super good. I mean, if you... And also, one thing that I didn't like about that is that it benefited the street bases way too much. I do not like street bases, okay? What do I mean by street bases? Basically, you pick a direction and you go there forever. I do think it is more interesting for the gameplay, for you to have a base that is more like all directioner kind of thing, like something like this. You explore in every direction, a little bit linearly, I guess. I don't think linearly is the word for that, but evenly, perhaps. Well, I am optimizing here for King of the Hill 2. Anyway, so I am thinking about removing an upgrade from the game. Yes. Perhaps not removing, changing, I don't know. I do not know. Anyway, why is that so? And what upgrade is that? The upgrade in question is weak link protection. Why I do think it is harmful for the game? Yes, I do think it's harmful for the game. Because in order to optimize for it, you will have to create quite interesting bases, yes. But the problem lies behind the optimization. Those bases which optimize from weak link protection are actually the bases which lag the most because of importance checking. And why does the game have to do importance checking in the first place? Well, because of weak link protection. That's mostly because of it. So anyway, what I want to do in order to change weak link protection, I do not want to keep it as it is because it creates a check. Okay, a check with isn't that laggy if the player is not trying to optimize for weak link protection. If the player is, however, trying to optimize for weak link protection, that that will be laggy, you know. And I mean, in most cases, I really couldn't also optimize for weak link protection as I wanted to. Like for instance, it is all about importance checking. Okay, I want to keep importance checking in the game for some reasons. I want some bosses to have to be able to smartly go about and target your most important links, most important structures. I want to have smarter bosses. There is a reason why I want to keep weak link protection. But weekly why I want to keep important checking the game. But if the player is actually optimizing for weak link, like I'm not here, that check is actually way too heavy. It reduces the number of buildings the game can handle to about 100. So the game will not be able to handle that well, 150 buildings. While if you are shorting your buildings like I am here, you what is shorting your buildings is basically making it so that if this building is destroyed, this building, every other building is okay. Okay. There is the actually normal path of optimizing in the game when you are actually trying to have a good base and stuff. You don't want your whole base to depend on one structure. What the fuck? No. You know? Why would you? See? Like a process like this is interesting. It's not that interesting, but like, but what it is stronger, you know, and it is actually lighter for the game. The game loves when you do this kind of stuff because it had to process less than it had before. Oh yeah, I just got a new upgrade, which is another reason why I want to get rid of weekly protection, which is organic growth. But anyway, I I am on a rant on this just because it is an upgrade which introduces a check, and but the check gets harder and harder the most. It's not like this. It's not like King of the Hill. King of the Hill, yeah, the check gets harder and harder the more you build, right? But with King of the Hill, you only have to check for actual turrets. Get it? No? Well, I'll explain it for you. The turrets, the King of the Hill only affects turrets, so only turrets actually calculate the King of the Hill bonus. Cool, isn't it? Well, and since when you are optimizing from King of the Hill, you want less turrets in an area. Okay, the costs of actually figuring out if this building is eligible for King of the Hill are higher depending on amount of turrets, but depending are higher depending on the amount of King of the Hill. But at the same time, how frequent do you need to do those tests? It goes down. See? Not true with weak link. With weak link, it's quite the opposite. So if you're trying to optimize for King of the Hill, you'll make King of the Hill easier to check on me. Cool? Cool. With weak link, when you optimize for weak link, you actually make it harder for the game to process that. And well, there are more structures as the game progresses. The game is fated to be more laggy as it progresses because it is growing. You know, I am just trying to work it in a way that when the game reaches its peak, its most interesting part, it is not too laggy anymore. Get it? No? Like, I want the game to peak at a point where it isn't lagging yet, basically. When the player still cannot notice the lag. Oh, I got another achievement. Perhaps I can get all of them in this run if I stop renting and I start building. This is interesting, perhaps, because I could try to benefit from this. I did think I created the second one there. Oh, so there's that. King of the... Oh, yay, I love this upgrade. I did not get Frenzy yet. Frenzy is another new upgrade that was introduced today. Anyway, I will try to optimize a little bit importance checking, but I mean, I'm not sure if I will be able to. That's the reason. That's the hard reason, I guess. One interesting thing is, depending on how oh, Frenzy, finally. So Frenzy is a new upgrade. When a building kills something, it gets double attack speed for a while. And turn speed. What is that double? No, what is the while? 1 second per level of the upgrade. Yeah, it doesn't scale that well, but I wanted it to be that way. Get it? Why? Well, there should be some upgrades that do not scale that well. There are some value points, as they call in Dota. You know, they are available to take 1 or 3, but after that, nah, that's okay for tier 2, not for tier 1. For tier 3 as well, cool. Like for instance, there are many trees that I like that. Like more options. It just only stacks to 4. After 4, it is literally useless. It is bad though? No, never. Actually, after 4, but it is bad to have 1 or 2 or 3. No, I mean, a small amount of them is really good, but a big amount, not that better. Oh yeah, look at this. Really? I did not have any turreting range for that? Weird. Yeah, I'm gonna rework the graphics for... Actually, add the graphics for the upgrades, which drop. I didn't do that yet. And that is because I am still a little bit undecided on how will they look, you know? It is a very important thing for the game. How will these hexagons look? I want them to have a different look based on the highest rarity they are in them. Just because I do think, oh, more friendly, yay. Just because I do think just because I do think, oh god, I'm in a little bit of, I'm stuttering again. Just because I do think it is interesting to be able to, with a glance, know what is the best upgrade within the bunch. And I don't know about active upgrades, active skills anymore, you guys. Because I don't know if I am too lazy to use them, or if they don't impact that much, the ones that are currently in the game. But I've been avoiding them most of the time, and I don't know if that's me. It is possible just that is just me. Everything is fine in terms of costs until it isn't. Can you say that? I do think. Oh no! I really wanted that other one because of collector. I really just. I have a little bit of cash here. Perhaps the amount of passive gold is too much right now. I do not know if that's actually the case. I will have to. First of all, I want to introduce. Something in the UI so you can see how much passive gold you have instead of just perhaps I will increase how much passive gold you have in the early game and decrease how much you get over time. You know, we'll get weak link protection because it does not cost me that much in terms of processing, in terms of lag. Oh, finally, collector. This is the stuff I was talking about. The icon is still a work in progress. You can see that. Yeah, you see, I have too much money. Even for the 20 minutes mark. I know prices scale up quadratically, but perhaps they could scale. I do think it is more interesting to change the prices instead of changing the money values. It is the same thing. But it's not like an unbeatable, no. Because my actions are still limited by... Well, my actions. I have to act to actually click on stuff and... But I'm reaching the point where they... Oh yeah, there is that nasty bug when you upgrade something. It creates a little bit of a lag spike, yes. But look at this base. It's a massive base. So I'm planning on implementing some more interesting things along the biomes, like perhaps some things things that you actually go there looking for them instead of just, like, for instance, the game objective would be something like that. Oh no, my base is starting to crumble and starting to lag as well. Why is it starting to lag? I do think it is the damage numbers? Question mark? Let me check in the... Actually, the projectiles are really... the things that shoot, I forgot their name. The shooters, yes. What a complicated name, isn't it? They are actually doing most of the lag. Perhaps the AI, they have to check for every creature for now. I got an interesting idea about that. I will have a subscription based model. Like every building, every creature, every tick will subscribe for the location they are. In a way that my turrets will be able to actually just query for the ones that are next to them. Okay, long live the hacks. There is something I will keep in mind. What else is lagging the game? Funnily enough, the player isn't lagging the game that much, which is perfect. Let's do this in order to... This is actually lowering the lag. Lowering the lag. In the long term. I really gotta change how importance checking is made right now. I have some ideas, you know. Like for instance, this thing over here. It does not have to check the whole thing because this group is only this many cells large. Its importance cannot be bigger than that. So once it find out that there is less things on one side than the other, it should stop checking, you know. It should not check for the whole thing. But man, this is that would lower the lag, yes. At this point, I am just keeping importance checking the game because as a question of I want it for now. But yeah, I really gotta do something about damage numbers. I am thinking about condensing them. That was weird. Like, yeah. What is lagging the game right now? Mostly rendering. Oh, oof, what is that? Mostly building updates. Cool. Because the base is getting destroyed, and there are too many particles, and we have to check too much thing. Do you see why I want some heavy optimizations happening? But anyway, the game will not crash with this, I do not think. But I will not be able to play it while the game is occupied, not crashing. Well, what I will do, I will check for if I can optimize importance checking to a level that it isn't that problematic to the game. If I can, good, I'll keep it. I will not keep, however, weak link, but I will keep the importance checking. However, if I can't, well, so I won't. I won't keep global importance checking. I will keep at least in a local level because I want bosses to be able to know what is important, what isn't, to target your stuff, to be nasty things. See, now the game is running just fine. I just lost it, but I do think I got all the upgrades, all the unlocks. I did not get. It was sad it ended like that, but what can you do? It is an in-gav game after all. So, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, I will ask you to leave a like if possible. Yeah, I do think that's it. Perhaps subscribe if you want to. I know I will not do that. That's cheesy. I do think. Oh, whatever. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow with a probably more optimized game. Yay! And with more content. But anyway, one thing I will show you tomorrow is probably at least the organic roof and the corn factory. These ones are really cool. But anyway, I think that's it. See you guys tomorrow.